Okay, just like as I promised earlier, this is the next message. As I said, that is the warning that the IPOB have given to our so-called leaders in the southeast, political leaders. He said, enough of your wheelbarrow insults. IPOB vows total war on fake leaders as they demand for immediate Biafran sovereignty votes. Say, let them start the referendum votes now or never. Otherwise, they are going to champion their exit, either from Nigeria, champion their exit from Biafra land, or champion their exit totality from the surface of this earth. I don't know the kind of exit that the IPOB mean. I'm just here as a messenger. So I would like you to listen to what they got to say from the clip before me here. So please, as you are watching, make sure that this message go viral. In fact, I don't want to drag it much. I don't want to talk much. But there will be some interjection moving forward. Yeah, there will be some interjection. As the message is playing, I might decide to add something on my own, and I will interject, add it, and then we proceed. So please bear with me as we begin the program. So please do me a favor, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I beg, let's go there.
Official warning from IPOB. Champion Biafra now, or we will champion your exit. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, released a strongly worded statement on Friday accusing prominent Igbo politicians of betraying their people and calling for a total cleanup to reclaim sovereignty through a peaceful referendum. Signed by Mazi Chukwukadibia Edoziem, head of the Directorate of State, the declaration lambasts figures such as Orji Uzor Kalu, Benjamin Kalu, Hope Uzodinma, Chukwuma Saludo, and Francis Nwifuru, labeling them as political scavengers and polytheifians who prioritize personal gain over regional development. The statement, disseminated widely, criticizes these leaders for failing to address systemic inequalities faced by the Igbo people, such as higher taxation on Eastern registered companies, forced relocation of businesses outside Igbo land, and the exclusion of Igbo language and history from Nigeria's national education curriculum. Edoziem alleges that these politicians remain silent on such issues to maintain their relevance in Nigeria's political landscape, at the expense of their constituents' well-being. These politicians are very much aware that different rules apply when it comes to the eastern region as against other parts of Nigeria, but you will never hear them raise a voice of complaint because keeping quiet guarantees their continuous relevance in the Nigerian political equation to the detriment of their people.
Yes.
The statement reads.
Not true.
Edoziem contrasts these figures with Abia State Governor Alex Otti, praising him as the only leader since historical figures like Michael Okpara and Sam Mbakwe, who truly understands political leadership and responsibility.
Wow.
The declaration accuses the criticized politicians of uniting against genuine development in Igbo land and even spilling the blood of Igbo sons and daughters through their actions.
Not true.
Referencing a January 1st, 2026 broadcast, Edoziem reiterates IPOB's call for Igbo representatives in the Nigerian National Assembly to initiate motions for the peaceful separation of Biafran territory from Nigeria. He warns that any...
You see, why I said I need to interject is also... Okay, this one that Chike Dozieha, whatever they call him, telling the people who is also part of the operation for them to go to the National Assembly and vote for your exit. My brother, freedom is not given, freedom is taken. The earlier you people understand this, the better for you. People must spy in terms of fighting for freedom. Who will buy, nobody knows. It might be me, it might be you, it might be another person. Sacrifices are making because for you to get yourself out of people who have subdued you, who have seen you as an object of what will I call it? As in fact, they see you as their slaves because they are the one managing your resources. So for you to break away from them, it is not something you tell leaders go to the National Assembly and no action. I don't say you should go and fight them, but when you get one of all these people, they are traveling overseas and that POB is everywhere. Anywhere they travel to get them there, disgrace them. In fact, the same way Ekweremadu collected the beating, most of them need to be collecting beating when they go outside the country. Because in Nigeria, you cannot try it. They have security up to their neck. When you do this to one person, two person, three person, go back home. This is what we want. Otherwise, never you cross any Europe again. In fact, let that your travel be only in Nigeria. My brother, they will do something. But instead, last warning, last warning. This is what we keep hearing. Since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was abducted, no any action. And yet, you people claim to have superiority over all this, over the champion of the Biafra independence. Let us continue, I beg.
Politician lacking the courage to demand justice for Biafrans has no business desiring to represent the Biafran people and must protect collective interests until a referendum is granted. The statement concludes with a rallying cry. It is indeed time to reclaim our sovereignty from those who have merchandised our collective interest for their personal interest. The time for total cleanup in order to restore those values and essence that define us as a people is now. The full statement read, from the office of the IPOB Directorate of States, 13th of February 2026, taking back our sovereignty from the hands of political scavengers masquerading as political leaders. For a while now, we have watched patiently, but with a rare tolerance, the activities of our political class. They have received time and time again great opportunities to use their political positions for the benefit of those they claim to represent. Rather than use the goodwill given to them by the people, or in certain cases, mandates stolen from their rightful owners, to initiate projects that will benefit their immediate community or constituency, they chose to mock and ridicule the same people who entrusted to them the political goodwill, believing that no one can call them to order.
Nobody trusted them with anything.
They viewed our patience as timidity and our tolerance as weakness.
I swear.
They believed that we are at their mercy and do not possess the means to call them to account.
I swear.
They became so reckless in their anti-people activities and so disdainful of the needs and well-being of our people. Still, we waited, ever so patiently, with a flicker of hope that these men and women who were entrusted with the future and well-being of our people will one day come to the realization that history is never kind to those who abuse and misuse the opportunity given to them by
leave this your quote. History will never be kind to history. Never. I beg you. Is it not go on are still living till today? Let us relive all these sentiments. The reason why they are not scared of anything they are doing there. Okay, look at what is happening in FCT now. Imagine an idiotic wicked saying that anybody who is not voting for or who is not a lawyer to Bola Ahmed Tinubu will never win any election in FCT. Say unless you must be loyal to Tinubu. In other words, if the people vote for you now said we want you to lead us because you are not loyal to Tinubu, then they will rig the election. And people, even the EFCC and DSA police, everybody look the other way. Let common ordinary man now, or let Peter Obi now come to that FCT now, make this kind of comment and rather now said, if you are not voting for ADC, you are not going to, in fact, we are going to stop you from winning this election. They will call him. They will invite him. But the people who supposed to rise up in this thing that is happening now, everybody, the docility of the over 250 useless Nigerians is the reason why they are not accountable to them, because they don't see them finish. Buhari came out and said them that lazy youth. You know when he made by lazy youth? Because they cannot contest. Give them 20,000 naira every month for data money, my brother. They will praise Satan. That Satan is the greatest of all time.
Providence. As our waiting days turned into weeks and then into months and finally into years, these men and women, feeling so secure in their political carriers, began to insult our sensibilities with their brazen and unconscionable falsehood. Entered Orji Uzor Kalu.
Yes.
The spokesperson of the gang of Polytheifians, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, who prides himself and takes so much joy to the fact that he is the number 6 man in the political hierarchy of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria, but has nothing to show in terms of political benefit to his constituency. Hope Uzodinma, who is not satisfied with the fact that he is a usurper and beneficiary of a stolen mandate, now also wants to be a commander-in-chief of a band of militia, being prepared to enthrone him as the godfather of emo politics. In Anambra, we have Chukwuma Soludo, who has shown that certificates do not necessarily translate to capacity and ability to build a Dubai of Africa.
Yes, so
in Ebonyi State, we have Nwaifuru, who does not have what it takes to be a local government councillor, beholding to David Umahi, and cannot leave his house if David Umahi has not given him the green light. Then we have the Toms, Dicks, and Harrys in the Nigerian National Assembly, Senate, and House of Representatives alike. These band of political opportunists and misfits, usually consumed and motivated by greed and envy, men and women without dignity and without honor, and having lost every modicum of shame like a harlot who shaved her eyebrows, vultures and vampires scavenging under the political table of the Nigerian state to outdo themselves in spilling the blood of Igbo sons and daughters, are united in their hatred for any genuine development in Igbo land that will benefit Ndigbo.
Yes,
When politicians like Orji Uzor Kalu, Theodore Orji, Benjamin Kalu, and their likes gather to tell shameless lies and fight the only governor since Michael Okpara and D. Sam Mbakwe in the person of Governor Alex Otti, that understands what political leadership and responsibility as it relates to working for the people and your immediate constituency entails, one does not need any soothsayer to understand that these political hyenas have no empathy to the daily struggle and suffering of our people. These politicians are very much aware that different rules apply when it comes to the eastern region as against other parts of Nigeria, but you will never hear them raise a voice of complaint because keeping quiet guarantees their continuous relevance in the Nigerian political equation to the detriment of their people. These politicians are fully cognizant of the fact that Igbo entrepreneurs, with the exception of a very few brave ones amongst them, are compelled to locate their businesses outside of Igbo land. They are mindful of the fact that Igbo businessmen are compelled to make a punitive yearly payment to northern Nigeria as people defeated in war, akin to what African countries under the influence of France are compelled to pay France because they were colonized by France. These politicians are in the know that companies registered in the East are taxed more than companies registered any other place in Nigeria. If this is not a deliberate policy to discourage the economic takeoff of Ala Igbo, they should explain to the world what type of divide and conquer economic policy that is, and what our political representatives have done about it. This same Nigeria that they want us to remain in just released their education curriculum for primary and secondary school children without the language and history of the Igbo being included as part of what our young minds will be taught at their tender age before the eyes of our so-called politicians. The cultural annihilation of our race has become an official government policy, and they still claim to represent our interest? Before now, they have goaded and teased us to hold our politicians to account for the lack of development in our region. Now we will hold them to account, and any Igbo man who has some integrity and enjoy some respect from our people must not get involved in this battle to reclaim our land from the hands of those working not for the benefit and well-being of the Igbo nation, but rather for the interest of the Sokoto Caliphate. Very soon, these Polytheians will start their usual game of political deceit, even those who cannot speak in the gathering of men when Ala Igbo was Ala Igbo, are all warming up to go to Abuja to represent Ndigbo and Biafrans in the Nigerian National Assembly. What can a man who is the protege of Hope Uzodinma and cannot speak where Hope Uzodinma is present do for Ndigbo? How can he represent the interest of Ndigbo when his principal is actively working against the general interest of the Igbo people and the Biafran nation, I ask? During my national broadcast to the Biafran people on the 1st of January 2026, I specifically called upon our political representatives in the Nigerian National Assembly to commence moves for the peaceful separation of the Biafran territory from Nigeria by raising and initiating a motion at the floor of both the Nigerian Senate and the Nigerian House of Representatives. They heard the demand of the people they claimed to represent, but chose to ignore our demand to their own detriment. The Directorate of State of the Indigenous People of Biafra will not tolerate further degradation of our essence and values by these politicians who make a caricature of our people every 4 years by distributing wheelbarrows and cups of rice to spite our collective sensibilities. Any politician of Biafran extraction who does not have the courage to demand for justice for the Biafran people have no business desiring to represent the Biafran people.
So, let me cut it short here. We still have some more minutes to go. But as I always said, I don't want you getting boring in watching any of my videos. So this one will be the end of it. We don't have time to read some comments, and in fact, whatever you may want to say concerning this video, please drop it at the comment section of this video. You believe or agree with the IPOB spearheaded by DOS, Directorate of Sabos, by name Chike Dozieha and Emma Powerless? If you believe in what I said here, my brother, drop your own comment at the comment section of this video. As such, please make sure that this video goes viral.